Could these hand-cut noodles be Japan's best-kept secret? Today, I'm on a mission to find out.
And today we are hunting for bowls of ramen.
Somewhere in Tokyo, the tale of two ramen shops is unfolding. As one new ramen shop carries on the tradition of fresh, hand-cut noodles, another that grinds its own flour prepares to say goodbye. In today's video, we discover something very new and, at the same time, say farewell to an old brand.
I love hunting for bowls of ramen. One of my favorite pastimes. Always looking for that bowl, chasing after that umami and that flavor. I'm in a little place called Naka Meguro today. This ramen shop I'm going to today is called Teuchi Asama. And what makes this particular ramen shop very, very unique is they make their own noodles. Hand-pressed noodles. I have a love for hand-pressed noodles, and that's why I'm so down for this ramen shop. And that's where we'll be going today. Now this ramen shop, Teuchi Asama, is actually a new ramen shop and has just recently opened. I think it opened up around October 2024. Well, it's actually climbing the ranks in the world of ramen. It's becoming quite popular, but not too many people know about it yet, but more people are going to know a lot about it from what I've read and what I've researched online, learning about the ramen shop. Joining me for today's bowl of ramen, we have my favorite special guest, my partner in ramen hunting, Frank.
Happy to be here. Happy to grab some ramen with you.
Frank is the one who told me about this wonderful place, and because he knows that I love handmade noodles, he said, let's go.
I knew it had to be with Bunga. Couldn't be any other person if it's handmade noodles.
So here we are.
As we wait in line to go inside to sit down to have this wonderful ramen experience, I'd like to share with you another story before we jump into this place. That is the story of Mensho, San Francisco. This ramen shop has been around for quite some time. However, the building that the ramen shop is located in is going to be closing down. By the time you watch this video, this ramen shop will be closed already. We spent some time there before it actually closed. So this will be our last bowl of ramen at Mensho, San Francisco. Let's reminisce about this one particular place.
I came here to the shop, I think almost like 2 years ago, where I experienced my first bowl of tori paitan, truffle tori paitan. That's the same bowl that I'm enjoying today. Kind of like a farewell to Mensho. And of course, gotta have my favorite friend with me. Hey, it's Frank, this guy over here.
Hey.
But if you want to enjoy Mensho San Francisco's bowl of ramen, they do have another place that's up in Shibuya called Mensho Jikasei. Slightly different from this one, but you can still get their fantastic noodles there. This is Brian. He's another one of our ramen heads.
Brian, nice to meet you. I am having the same actually oyster miso ramen. Very thick noodles, super unlike any of the other noodles here. Definitely flatter, but very thick. Super flavorful broth. Very balanced flavors between the oyster and the miso. With some Wagyu beef, really complements everything else. Really beautifully presented at the beginning, but very full, very happy.
Basically, just like Noodle word, and mine on the is infused with yuzu shapes on top. This is my first time having it actually. I've always gone with their classic koi paitan, and I'm digging it. I do think though, the yuzu really makes a mere cactus bowl where you're like, oh my gosh, this is definitely a yuzu flavor bowl. So the chicken almost takes kind of a backseat. Well, sharing the stage 50-50. And that's what yuzu does. It kind of takes over anything. If you like yuzu, this is a great bowl. The thin noodles are in this one, and I will contrast that with this other bowl I'm about to talk about, which is an oyster miso ramen. With every sip of soup, we get a little bit of that brininess, that greeniness that comes with the sea flavors, oysters in this case, beautiful oyster flavor, and then you've got a bold miso seasoning. And just with those two, you get much stronger flavors, more in-your-face flavors compared to the more gentle, mellow tori paitan. This is not that. Crafted to perfection, of course. I think everything they do looks pretty and tastes pretty, if that makes sense, but definitely more grittiness in this bowl.
They make me feel a little bit sad just because this location has been one I've been coming to for a while. It's kind of bittersweet. Of course, I'm happy to have that last meal here and everything, but a feeling I more normally wouldn't have when eating ramen, a little bit of sadness. But I think, as is the case with anything in real life, you look back with fondness and
Don't be sad, it's over.
be glad it happened. I think the phrase is, it's okay to cry in your bowl of ramen. That's the new one. But yes, I'm just happy I could get some last meals here.
Frank is the one who introduced me to Mensho San Francisco. And it was because of him I fell in love with tori paitan. in the beginning because I've never had anything like this before. And it's so proper, my last time here, sharing the bowl with you. Whoa, it's truly come around full circle when you think
Glad we
about
were
it.
able to do this.
Yeah.
I forgot about that, actually.
Yes, yes. Wow.
Now we're actually going to cry.
Yeah. It's my bowl of ramen.
We're going to fill these bowls back up with tears.
Yeah. Well, that was a lot of fun. We just enjoyed Mensho. Final bowls. Say goodbye to my friends. Cry. Inside Teuchi Asama.
I think the first thing that was very, very impressive to me is the moment we sat down, cut the noodles. I've never seen that before. That was my first time seeing anything like that. I think that really, really added to the atmosphere, the anticipation, watching him prepare the bowl, waiting. This is gonna be great.
No, that's such a good point. And I think because you're so close to the action, there's only 9 gigahertz seats. Anywhere you sit, you can hear those sounds. You can hear that chopping and just getting excited. I haven't felt that in a little while, at least in terms of the sounds you mentioned, right? It's like, okay, there are noodles. It adds to it all for sure.
The fact that also the owner here trained at a very famous Tokyo ramen shop.
Jikasei.
Yes, indeed.
Jikasei.
Means we can expect something very special.
Yes.
And I just saw right now, he's using a hirazaru. He's not using a tebo.
If you're wondering tebo, it's simply, in English, it's like a strainer, is what it's used.
The hirazaru is a flat noodle strainer that takes quite a bit of skill to use, and it was used back in the day and even today for soba shops. And it's more common these days to have a tebo used.
All right, let's walk through this bowl of ramen that we just had. I think the noodles overall were nice and chewy. I think I really, really enjoyed that texture, but they're really, really thick and chewy, springy. I've never experienced anything like that.
I would describe them the same way. I think
Chewy and springy.
chewy and springy, to Bunga's point. Because he trained at Jikasei, he's doing the same thing. Basically, they're made to order. I mean, that's when you know there's such individual care, again, being put into each of the bowls. He's hand pressing them, which gives them that frizzy, sort of uneven texture. Great mouthfeel as a result. And then also cutting them by hand, sort of chopping block. Oh, those noodles. I'll definitely be dreaming about them tonight.
Those noodles are really, really good. Those are really, really impressive having noodles.
So good.
Yeah.
Maybe we can talk about the soup a little bit.
The soup is more of a chicken base, but it has more of a fishy niboshi flavor. Usually niboshi is a lot more strong, but this didn't feel as strong to me.
Well, that soy sauce that they used from Saitama,
Yeah.
it was a great choice. It was a relatively bold soy sauce, pretty salty and sweet and sour at the same time. Like, it's a powerful soy sauce.
It had almost like not quite sweet, more like a tangy flavor to it.
And I think that masked a little bit of those sharper niboshi flavors, but also it was well balanced between the warm chicken flavors and the niboshi. You didn't get too much niboshi, dried fish, bitterness, intensity. They went well beautifully together, the chicken and niboshi, and I think that was also because of the soy sauce that they decided to use. I would say it's a very soy sauce forward bowl. You know, the soy sauce had just as much a commanding presence as the fish and the chicken. So the trifecta there working together. And then, of course, to highlight the noodles and those delicious toppings, particularly the chashu pork.
The char siu pork was on another level too. But there was two types. One was a little bit more fatty and the other one was a little bit more lean.
Yep.
And the lean one had a little bit chew, but I actually preferred the one that was a little bit more fatty. That was more like a melt in your mouth. And I think the way he seared and braised the pork, that really added a little bit of depth to it and a really good complement to the rest of the soup.
I agree. It was a meteor bowl because we got the chashu and no regrets there because, to your point, those chashu were amazing. Especially that broiled fattier one.
And along the lines of the toppings, the bamboo they use, the little thin strips of bamboo, when they're cut really thin, and then when it spreads around in the soup, it just gets in everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing.
It was a really good thing.
Oh,
And
So
then
good.
I kind of like broke it down and mixed it in with my noodles. And then biting into the noodles with the bamboo at the same time really had a really nice, rich flavor in there also.
And I think when you have the bigger chunks of bamboo shoots, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you grab them with the noodles, you're very much focused on only the bamboo shoots, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
it's so prominent there. But this way, eating just a little bit of it alongside the noodles, I feel like they're sharing the stage more, right? You're tasting
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
the noodles, the texture of that, and also the bamboo shoot.
The broth, the noodles, the toppings, all coming together. A symphony of flavor in your mouth.
Very well balanced. Honestly, the soy sauce, the chicken, and the fish.
Overall, the noodles really commanded the whole bowl, just the way they stood out, and I think that's what really made it very magical. And so I feel like this bowl, because of the noodles, I can put that in the magic sphere. That's how good it felt to me.
It's in my magic sphere as well. That
Yeah.
was one of the best bowls I've had to start 2025. It's up there.
Yeah, it's quite impressive.
Oh,
Yes.
so good.
Those noodles,
Absolutely.
super excellent.
Absolutely.
It's really good. I crushed my whole bowl.
Yes.
There was nothing left. So definitely overall, I would say Teuchi Asama. So the ramen shop is in an area that's a little bit less known, but it is close to Shibuya and Ebisu, where most people will be commonly visiting. So if you're in the area, you can definitely stop by. Highly recommended.
Naka Meguro has fantastic coffee shops. There's the river here as well. And in springtime, people flock to it because of all the cherry blossoms. And the shopping street we're on, which is basically very close to the ramen shop, is a great place to visit too. So
We had a nice, wonderful little adventure here. Let's thank Frank once again for joining us for this bowl.
always happy to grab a bowl.
All
Thanks for
right.
joining me.
Yes.
And thank you for allowing me to join you.
Yes, it was truly a pleasure. And we'll see you on the next round.
The ramen gods brought you here.
The ramen gods brought me here.
I was just I don't know, messenger from the gods maybe.
I already had a good love of ramen before I met Frank, but he's the one who took me deeper down the ramen rabbit hole. And now I'm just crazy now.
I dragged him down, both feet, and I'm like, get in here.
Yes, I think I've gone beyond ramen junkie. I've now joined the ramen cult of ramen.
It's a little scary actually.
The cult of ramen? Can you imagine meeting people where they walk around carrying ramen magazines and then they wander the city dragging other people around, feeding them ramen? Who would do such a thing?
I know. Sounds like a horrible thing.
I know. 5 AM Ramen Tours, click the link below.